guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I created this really nice, soft, glowy back to school look. I feel like this is a perfect back to school look that you could use like for your first day of school if you want to kind of go all out but not do too much of a glam. You can still look really healthy and awake for going back to school. I feel like the products that I use and the colors that I use are perfect for going back to school because for a lot of you guys it's pretty much still kind of warm outside, so you can still use the peach colors, the light pinks and things like that, which I did in this look. So if you guys would like to see how I achieved this look using all drugstore products, then keep on watching. First step is going to be, of course, prepping the skin and getting it ready for the foundations, concealer, all that, so the makeup will last throughout the day and look really skin-like and flawless. So first I'm going to be going in with a primer, and I'm going to be going in with this NYX Angel Veil primer. Take about that much and then just applying it to the skin. And then for a smoothing primer, you guys know this is my favorite smoothing primer, and this is by Maybelline. This is the Instant Pore Eraser. And I'm just going to take this primer on any areas that I feel like I really want it to have that smoothing effect. Because I love this primer. I love this primer. Next, I like to go in with sprays just so it can really set in those primers and also give me that tacky kind of wet feeling before I put on my foundation. So next I'm going to be going in with this NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And I want to go in with this spray just because I do want that dewy look, but I am going to be using a mattifying foundation. So for foundations today, I'm going to be going in with two foundations. This is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation in the shade Warm, which is W7. And then I am going to be taking this L'Oreal Dimming Matte Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the shade 109. And I used to be obsessed with this foundation last summer. And I just found other products and decided to stop using it. But I always seem to come back to this foundation. So first, I am going to be going in with the Dewy Foundation first from L'Oreal. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit, ooh, that came out to be a lot actually, a little bit of the L'Oreal Matte Foundation. And to blend out these foundations, I'm actually going to be taking this Morphe sponge. This isn't considered drugstore because you can't find it, I believe, at like CVS or Walgreens, things like that. But you can get it from Ulta. Now it's not a drugstore, but it's drugstore price. I believe this sponge is like $8. If you do want a drugstore sponge, you can get the Real Technique one, which is the orange one. You guys have seen it previously in multiple videos on my channel. So now I'm just going to take this sponge to go ahead and blend this foundation out. So I've actually never used this sponge before. I've had it sitting in my drawer in the box brand new for at least like a good 4 months, I think, and I just have never used it. And I really like how it's making this foundation look. Like, can you guys see how skin-like this foundation looks? And I've never used these two foundations together. And you guys, I think I did pretty well with picking out the shades because this literally looks like the same color as my skin, like exactly the same color. And I have not, like the Bobbi Brown foundation in my previous videos that I have been using lately, I think is a really good match, but boy, this one right here, this literally is my skin. So for concealer today, I'm going to be going in with the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. This is in the shade medium, no, I'm sorry, this is in the shade light medium W45. And I also have another one. This one is a lighter one, and this one is in the shade Fair Light W123. So I'm actually going to go in with the darker one first, the medium shade, just because I want to go ahead and just really conceal. Then I'll go in with the other one to brighten and really give it that little bit of a highlighted look. And I've never used these concealers. I've seen other beauty gurus on here use it. Not too much, but I've seen other ones use it and they seem to like it, so I said, well, why not? Let's give it a try. So far, I am not liking the application for sure. I feel like it's taking a little bit too long to really get the concealer on there for the amount that I like. Alright, so now I'm going to take the pointed side of this sponge to go ahead and blend out the concealer. I went ahead and blended out that concealer. As you guys can see, it didn't give me any brightness or anything. It really just concealed. Now, it's not a super full coverage concealer, but I feel like it's just perfect for like going to school and you just want to have still a really flawless and awake look. I feel like you could just use that on its own and really just have that natural look without even highlighting or going in with a lighter concealer. Right, so I went ahead and concealed my face, and you can see that the lighter shade did go ahead and brighten it just a little bit. So now I'm going to be doing my brows off camera. I don't have a drugstore brow pencil or brow product just because I'm so used to my Anastasia Beverly Hills one and I really don't do too much to my brows, so I wanted to just leave that out. So I actually decided while I was concealing my brow, I would actually show this step. Since it's more for a quick day of going to school, you know, to wake up early in the morning. I mean, me personally, when I was in high school or in school, I did not want to wake up early and do my makeup. To be honest, I didn't even wear makeup in high school. I didn't start wearing makeup until I graduated. But if I were to go back in time and I was doing makeup, this is what I would do. So I'm just going in with the lighter shade from the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. And I am just concealing my brow. And I already have pretty much thick brows that are pretty much shaped already, so I don't have to do too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and conceal them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what I would do on a regular school day if I were going to school, and how I would get my brows to look good. So right now, you guys can see that I'm really just taking this side of the brush, which is a flat side, and I'm just taking that and really dragging down the concealer and kind of patting it in as well. And I like to go in with lighter shades to clean up my brows. Not super, super light, but light enough to where it's lighter than my foundation, because you can get that natural highlighted brow bone as well, just in case you don't want to go in with like a shimmer shade to highlight it at the end, or you know, you already have it there. And as you guys can see, that's literally everything I would do to my brows on a regular day, because my brows are already naturally shaped and pretty much thick already. That's all I would do. Now, this step I am going to do off camera, but regular school day, like I always said, I probably wouldn't even go in with this pencil, but this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Wiz, and I would just take it up on these areas that are sparse. It really doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make a difference, so it's not so many sparse, like kind of lighter gap areas. But other than that, that's literally all I do for my brows. So I don't know, this might just be my eyebrow routine in this video as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other one, and then I'll be back to finish the rest of the face. Alright, so my brows are all done. So now I'm going to still take the same shade that I went and concealed my brows with to go ahead and prime my lids. And then I'll be taking this e.l.f. concealer brush to go ahead and blend in this concealer on my lids. I feel like a brush for this step really gives it more of that full coverage if you have really like veiny lids or very like red eyelids or dark eyelids. This really helps. Okay, so now that my lids are primed, I can go ahead and go in and start contouring and giving my face some color and dimension. So I'm going to be taking this foundation stick from Maybelline. This is their new Superstay foundation stick. My camera doesn't really show the white because it's so bright, but it's just this. Now this stick only comes with that much. For this to be a foundation, I feel like this will go in like 3 uses. So I'm gonna see if this is comparable to my black opal foundation stick that I used to contour in a lot of my videos. That is drugstore as well, so if you guys have seen previous videos, that's drugstore. So I just wanted to try a different one to see if, you know, there's another one that's better out there, or I can find another one that's pretty much the exact same thing, same shade and everything. So this actually is in the shade Mocha 360. When I'm blending out my contour, I really like to kind of drag it up and really tap it into my skin, just so it doesn't look super crazy and blotchy. I will say, this blended out really, really easily, and this shade is really nice. This is a perfect shade, to be honest. So you guys know, after I do this step, if you have seen previous videos, I like to go in with the highlighting shade just a tad bit, because I feel like the cream contour kind of takes away from the highlighting just a little bit. So I'm just gonna go in just a little bit to give it a little bit more highlight. Right, so now on to setting powder. I'm going to be using this LA Girl Pro powder. I have never used this before. LA Girl is definitely in CVS, I'm pretty sure, or Walgreens, one of those. I always get them like mixed up, but maybe in both, to be honest. This one's literally $5.99, so I think that's pretty good. So today we're gonna see how this powder is. I'm really, really iffy with powder, so we gonna see. So I went ahead and put the powder in the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there are no creases under my lids or anywhere else, and I'm going to set my face with this powder. And I am going to be taking the damp beauty sponge to go ahead and apply this powder to my face. So far what I can say about this powder, when it gets on the skin, it's not really as yellow as my banana powder from Makeup Revolution. We'll see how it blends out. So I'm just going to take my sponge and really just press it into my skin. And then I'm going to take this brush and really just blend this powder into my skin. Now what I can say about this powder, it definitely might have messed up my whole makeup, because it is looking pretty ashy. This has never happened to me. I had like this white line on my lips, and that is so not cute. I wonder how long in this video it was like that. So now I need to go ahead and bring some color back to my face. It kind of looks a little bit better since I blended it in with this brush. So to bronze up my face, I'm going to be going in with the Milani Baked Bronzer in Soleil. This is like an OG fave of mine. It just is really nice, and it gives you that nice glowy bronze effect. Macaroni in a boat, how she getting wet. When I met her, said she was a fucking bartender, yeah. And I saw her. Now for blush, I thought I had my Milani blush here in the shade Luminoso. I really can't find it. I was searching a good 10 minutes for the blush, for this blush. I know it's here. It is somewhere here. I just cannot find it. So good thing my friend, she left hers here. So she literally is like pretty much out of this. This is the blush that I'm going to be going in with. You guys see she's like hitting pan. And I just love this blush because it just really gives you that nice subtle glow. And it's like peachy, my favorite type of blush. Now I need to go ahead and clean it up just a little bit, and I'm going to be taking that powder again to clean it on up. I feel like this powder would definitely be a pretty decent drugstore powder for skin tones lighter than mine, but for skin tones, for my skin tone and darker, I would not recommend this powder. I would definitely recommend the Revolution powder that I use in my most previous videos. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and go back in with this NYX setting spray to set everything in. We can move on to eyes. So I'm going to be taking this Total Temptation palette from Maybelline, I feel like this is a perfect palette for like a really nice natural day at school. The first shade I'm going to be going in with is this peachy shade right here. I'm done with the eyes now. Now I'm gonna go in with mascara, and in what just happened, I was gonna show you guys the pretty PR package that it came in, but it fell. So it was an epic fail. Nothing, you didn't miss much. So I'm gonna be going in with these right here. This is the actual mascara, but then they also have a primer for your lashes. So I am going to be using both. I actually have never used the eyelash primer, so I'm actually excited to try that. But first I am going to be going in with my eyelash curler to curl my lashes. I do this every single time before applying mascara. Now I am taking the Covergirl Lash Blast Primer. Just apply this like if it was mascara. I'm going to be going in with the mascara now. Alright, so now that the mascara is on, I can go ahead and go in with lashes. So for today's lashes, I'm going to be going in with these Kiss lashes. And this is in the style Garters, I believe. I've never used this style. I normally use this brand, but I use Teddy when I want to use the Kiss brand. So I wanted to try these because these ones seem a little pretty. So I'm going to pop these bad boys on and then I'll be right back. Alright, so the eyes are done. So now I can go ahead and spray my face one more time, and I'm going to be taking the same setting spray from NYX. When you're spraying for this last spray, you want to make sure that you spray on the areas where you're going to be applying your highlight. So for today's highlight, I'm going to be taking the Total Temptations palette again because it does have a highlighting shade in here. And I'm just going to spray my brush. And a lot of you guys have been asking which highlighting brush this is, and this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is the A23 brush, and this is specific for highlighting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the highlight. And I feel like for school it should be really subtle. So this is like a perfect highlight, even though it is pretty pigmented though. Ooh. Take some on my nose. Give me that really glowy look. Alright, so now for lips, I'm going to be taking this NYX lip gloss, and this is in the shade Creme Brûlée. And this is just a really nice light pink lip gloss. Alright you guys, so this is the final look. I went ahead and put my hair in a little ponytail. It is like a little messy ponytail because I feel like if I were going to school, honestly, when I was in high school, I really did not give 2 cares at all. Didn't want to say the other word, but I really didn't care. I literally went to school. I had my days, you know, you have your days where you wake up, you're like, I think I want to be cute tomorrow when I go to school. Like I had those days when it was like maybe twice a month, and it was probably on a Friday because I knew it was the weekend and I was probably gonna do something after school. Other than that, I literally went to school barefaced and all, did not have a lick of makeup on. So if I were to rewind and go back to school, this is something I would do if I had one of those days where I'm like, ooh, I think I want to be cute. I don't want to do too much, but I want to look really like glowy and, you know, just healthy, you know. I just want to look really glowy and alive because, ooh, in the morning time, girl, I used to look dead because I pretty much was. I literally would wake up like 20 minutes before I had to be to school. I feel like the colors that I use are perfect because for a lot of you guys that are going back to school, it's still gonna be a little warm outside. So I feel like this is perfect because it's like a perfect color for like ending the summer, if that makes sense. You know, it's like a summer ending color. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I really hope you guys were able to get some tips and hear my thoughts on these drugstore products. So you really can get you a nice beat look first going back to school without breaking your pockets. So if you did like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave me comments down below, and make sure you turn on that bell so you know exactly when my next tutorial will be up. So other than that, I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!